welcome back to my channel. So I put a post on Instagram this morning about being like a postage stamp and sticking to something until you get there. And alongside the post I put about how to lose weight you need to be consistent, and to lose weight ideally you don't see it as being on and off. So very often you hear, oh, I'm on plan or I'm off plan. But Slimming World isn't a diet. Slimming World is a lifestyle change, and it's a way of life. It isn't something that you're on or you're off. There is something called flexible sins. Now, this video isn't going to be a massive explanation of flexible sins. I'm going to do another video on like how to eat out and socialise and stuff like that. I'll do that in another video. But flexible sins isn't a night off. Flexible sins is where you keep counting. So for example, there's two different ways of using it. One is when you're too strict all the time, and if you have one kind of like day off you end up blowing it, so you give yourself flexible sins. Another is if you're on the rare occasion, and I think that is the key point here. This isn't every weekend, guys. To lose weight it needs to be the rare occasion where you've got a wedding or you've got a holiday or something like that, and you know damn well you're not going to be able to do it within 15 sins. The best thing you can do is sit down and work out, okay, so I might be going over 15, but what could I do it in? So you could sit down and you could think, right, okay, I'm going out for an Indian, for example. I could have a chicken dansak, I could have boiled rice, I can ask for no oil, I can have a salad, and then maybe a couple of vodkas. So actually I could do it within 25 sins or 30 sins, just for example. And then you set that limit and you stick to it. Now that will alleviate any feelings of guilt. It will mean you haven't blown it, you've just been a little bit more flexible that day, and you then just get straight back on plan. So it's not a night off, it's not on plan and then off plan at the weekend. It's the true meaning of flexible sins. So I've got some of the top tips that I want to share with you. And I've still got my Invisalign in, so you'll have to bear with me. I think I'm speaking okay when I'm wearing it. But yeah, I'm conscious because I keep getting lipstick on it, so I look like I've got lipstick on my teeth. So my tips for consistency, number one is the one I just mentioned. Do not see it as a diet. You need to see it as a lifestyle change. If you see it as a diet, you're just going to want to rebel all the time, and you're going to feel too restricted, and then you're going to end up throwing caution to the wind. So imagine wearing a really, really tight dress. When you get in, all you want to do is take it off. You literally can't bear wearing it anymore. If you've got a dress that's too loose, then you know you don't really care, you're a bit more flexible, you think, oh well, no one's going to notice what I look like in this dress anyway, and that's too loose. What you want to try and do is keep it nice and snug. So you want to make it a lifestyle, not a diet, so it feels comfortable. It doesn't feel like you've got to fling it off every 5 seconds, and it's something that you can do every single day. So not a diet. It needs to be intrinsic. It's not your, this is what I'm doing now, it's your, this is what I'm doing forever. Now, your positive mental attitude is going to come into consistency massively. You can't start the day off saying, well, I can't do it today, or this is too hard. You know, if you let all those sort of phrases get in your head, you won't succeed. You won't be consistent. You've got to think of positive phrases. So I can do it, I'm choosing to do it. You know, okay, it's not going to be easy, but I will food optimize my way around it. So use positive phrases, not negative phrases. I would also say make small changes. If this isn't going to happen, you're not going to all of a sudden go from being not consistent to being bloody perfect. It's going to be small little changes to your daily routine that makes you consistent. So for example, if at the moment your trigger is you're not having breakfast and then you're starving, so you're going off plan at lunch, so you're seeing it as off plan. Now, to stop that, and to stop you being on and off, and to stop it all going wrong that day, you might think, okay, well actually the small change I'm going to make is I'm going to have breakfast, I'm going to get it ready the night before, I'm going to get up and I'm going to eat it. And that might be the one little change that you make to keep you more consistent. It might be that at the moment you're drinking wine every Friday night and you think, that's not getting me to where I want to be. So I'm going to make a small change and I'm going to swap it to vodka. Great, if that's within your sins and it keeps you consistent, then that's absolutely fantastic. So small little changes, and just realise that you're not always going to be perfect. The next one is choice power. So you've got either the phrase willpower or choice power, but I see it as choice power. You're choosing not to have something, it's not that you can't. People talk about willpower, and this is a big, really like popular phrase in slimming world. Willpower is like a muscle, so I got told that like 10 years ago. So the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So think of it, every time you say no thank you, or every time you make a better choice, that's going to become intrinsic, and that's going to be something that you'll do more often. Every time you say yes to things that are going to take you over your sins and further away from your weight loss, then that's probably going to be your pattern. So be consistent with your choice power, and the more you do it, the easier it will become, I promise you. So I would always have chips. I'd have chips with everything, chips with sandwiches, chips with everything. And I'd always just go, yes please to chips, and yes please to dessert. And the more and more I got used to saying no thank you, no thank you, it just comes out my mouth now. I don't even have to think about it. The next one is don't self-sabotage. If you want to be consistent, yet you know if you go shopping starving with a hangover, you're going to buy everything in sight, don't go shopping starving, don't go shopping with a hangover. You know, don't sabotage yourself. If you know that if you have chocolate in the house, there's no chance you're going to stick to it, and there's no chance you're going to get to where you want to be, don't buy the chocolate. Don't have it in your house. If you know that's going to sabotage your consistency, don't have it. Also, make sure that your actions back up your words. So a very popular question that I ask, I really like it, is on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your weight loss to you? Okay, so ask yourself that now. On a scale of 1 to 10, how important is your weight loss to you? Now for me, that question's not enough. It's not enough, because just wanting something doesn't mean you're going to get it. So I back it up with another question, and I want you to ask yourself this question now. From a scale of 1 to 10, where's your commitment right now? Where is it? You know, to making sure that you're food optimizing 7 days a week, 100%. Where are you at with that? So if your want is high and you're thinking, well, I'm a 10, but your commitment is like a 5, it ain't gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. So if you're saying, right, I'm gonna do this, this and this, but then your actions don't back it up, you're not gonna get anywhere. So your actions need to back up your words. Also, make specific goals. Okay, goals are so important. If you want to be consistent, you need a goal. Now, it might be that you've got a goal to get in a certain dress by a certain time. It might be a weight loss goal. It might be an interim goal. It might be a goal just to make good choices this week, whatever. Have long-term ones, but have some short-term ones as well, because the long-term ones can feel too far away, and they might not be enough to keep you consistent and to keep you committed. So you might want to break it down then into short-term goals. So it's up to you, whatever works for you, long-term, short-term, or both. The next one is visualization. I don't know if you've ever used visualization. Now, a lot of people think of it as imagining yourself in a bikini or imagining yourself in a little black dress. Visualization is actually more powerful than that. So how I use it with my members is to visualize themselves making behavioral changes. So say for example at the moment, every Friday night the husband rings on the way home from work and says, oh darling, I know you've had a long day, shall I grab a takeaway? And you're just going, yeah, all right then. And then you're feeling guilty after you've eaten it, you wish you hadn't eaten it, and you're basically full of regret. So first thing is obviously don't feel guilty, but if you want to change this pattern of behaviour, you can use visualisation. So you visualise how you want to behave. So when the husband rings on a Friday night, oh hi darling, would you like a takeaway? No thank you, I'm going to cook a Chinese takeaway. I've already planned it, it's absolutely fine, no thank you. Done. How do you feel now? God, I feel really good. I feel like, you know, I feel like much more in control, and I could do that. Now, every single day then, practice that. Just close your eyes for a few seconds and practice doing it in your mind, and you will be shocked. It will seep into your subconscious and you will just do it. You will just start to behave different. Now, if you don't believe me, research visualization, because it's used with millions of sports players. It's used with famous people that have to go on stage and might feel nervous. It's just, it's fabulous. It really is. Marathon runners, everything. It's used with loads of people. So visualization is very, very powerful. So you could try that. Also, focus on the now. Don't think, oh, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Or don't think, oh, God, I wasn't very good yesterday or whatever. Focus on now. You can waste so much time thinking, oh, well, I'll start Monday. Oh, I'll do it on Tuesday. I'll do it Wednesday. No, now. Now, also stop relying on motivation. Okay, so I get so many messages saying, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay motivated? I'm not always motivated. So sometimes I don't want to go and exercise. Sometimes I don't want to eat, you know, the Slim and Well food, and that's normal. That's okay. You can't magically find motivation, and you can't wave a wand and feel motivated 24/7. Even like top fitness people, there'll be days when they've got to drag themselves out of bed. So even if you aren't motivated, do it anyway. Do it anyway. And actually, you will find motivation in group, you absolutely will, and staying to group is so important if you want to be consistent. I can't tell you how important that is. Weighing in every week and staying every week is vital for consistency. But you need to find your own motivation ultimately. So mine was my graduation, and the fact that I felt miserable in my own skin, and I was in a relationship I didn't want to be in, and I didn't like myself very much, and I had no control over food. Food was controlling me. So I had loads of motivation. I didn't want to be that person anymore. But you've got to find your own. No one can do it for you. So you'll find inspiration, but ultimately to be consistent, you need to find your own motivation, but you also need to be okay with the fact that you aren't going to always feel motivated, but do it anyway. So my last point is you need to be accountable. So if you're not going to group and you're not weighing in, you're not accountable to anybody. You don't have to be consistent because you're not going to bother going to group anyway. So every single week, don't miss it. Don't waste holiday weeks and absence weeks on just groups where you don't want to go and face the scales. You need to go. No one's going to judge you. Don't judge yourself. Don't say anything to yourself that you wouldn't say to a friend. And just make an effort. You know, there's a saying, which is a Nike phrase, just do it. Just do it. And it'll become your way of life. And it'll just become the way you are every single day. And you will be a consistent slimmer. I promise. So I hope that's helped you. I'd actually really like to know which one of those little tips that you found the most beneficial, and I'd also love to know if you've got any others. So if you have, will you just leave them in the comments below, because then other people can read them and hopefully find inspiration from your kind words as well. And then if you have enjoyed this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. Now, to subscribe to a YouTube channel, you need an account. And I subscribe to loads and loads of different people. So I would love it if you enjoy my videos and if you follow me on social media, if you actually became a subscriber and you were part of my channel. I would absolutely love that. So there's a little button just underneath the video. Create yourself an account and just click subscribe, and then we can be besties. Every time I post a video, you'll get to see it. And hopefully you enjoy watching them, and hopefully they help you. And I post videos on loads of girly stuff. So I'd love to have you on my channel if you'd like to be part of it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and happy bobbing. Bye guys.